Hey everyone, welcome back to Blue Mountain Radios. Today we're looking at a Kenwood TK-790 45-watt radio. TK-790, alright. So TK-790, and right now it's set up to only work with ignition sense, and I don't like selling these with ignition sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the requirement for ignition sense on this radio. So let's go ahead and remove these top 5 screws. And then we have 2 screws on the side here. Alright. Now, this should just pop off. Alright. So, I may not be able to get the best view of this, but here we go. Alright, so that's your cable right here. We need to remove that, and it just pulls right up. What do they actually have in there? They don't actually have the resistor. They just got a piece of metal bridging it, which is not good. Right here, there should be a resistor. So now I gotta go buy resistors to replace this hacked up job that somebody did, so I can put the resistor on 504 instead of 506. So there's just this resistor right here that goes between 504 and 506. 506 requires ignition sense. 504 does not require ignition sense. I have 3 units here, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at another one. See if that one also has modification. Let's see here. I should actually have the resistor here. I'm pretty sure it's just a 0 ohm resistor that pops. That's like a 2 amp. Allows 2 amps to go through, and that's about it. There you go. Ah, okay, so this one's set up correctly, so we'll work on this one. Alright, again, this wire right here just gets pulled out. This wire with black and red cords get taken out, and what I do is I get some tape and just tape them back this way unless they stay, which it looks like they will. Alright, and then all we have to do, again, there's just a small resistor right here. You can see the little green piece right here. Let's get a little closer look there. So this resistor right here, that green one, just needs to move up to where it says R504, and the ignition sense will be disabled. And then you'll be able to turn it on just by hitting the power button. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to get my heat gun going. Get some flux on there. And we're going to get our heat gun around about 675. And I usually leave it at 100%. But you gotta be careful because you got these surface mounted capacitors there as well. So you gotta make sure you don't heat those up. You want to make sure you don't melt any of the plastic connectors for the wires either. There's a lot going on. That's why I turn it down just a tad to 675. I leave it at high strength at 100% airflow just fine. And I'm constantly checking. And there it goes. And that's it. You're done. You take the heat off. You let it cool down for a second. We get our little brush. And clean it up. Being as careful as possible not to rip anything off. And then we'll go ahead and plug back in the 2 wires we took out. Then we get our power cord here. Oops. I did all that blink as a... I forgot to do it. That's okay. I got one more. And voila. As you can see, is now turned on via power button. There you go. Alrighty. So we'll put this one back together. The one that you didn't see because I forgot to autofocus the camera. And then we get our last one here. And it goes here. Alright. Let's try this one more time. So I say this is no power up, but it actually is. It's just ignition sense. So we'll rip off my diagnostics here. Because at the time I didn't have the pens for those. Alright. Here we go. I'm going to take these out. I really need... Oh, there they are. I found my resistors. 0 power fuses. Basically all they need. Alright, there is the same type of resistor right here. Then just that small green one. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out these cables so I don't harm them. Let's see if they can't just stick down there. Maybe. Alright, so same thing. 650 degrees. Or 675, I'm sorry. Right? Is that where I'm at? 675? Yeah, 675, 100% airflow. You get some flux on there. And all we're going to do is heat up the board. You want to avoid the 2 plastic pieces and these 3 caps. So I'm constantly checking that resistor. So once it's fluid like that, and we can get it changed over. And there you go. That's it. You take the heat away. That's it. You let it cool down for a second. Make sure it's solid. Take our brush. Clean it up. Make sure we get that flux off of there. Make it nice and clean. And then we put this back on. Put this in. We grab our power cord. Come on. And you have it. This is weather. It is a bad screen. I'm going to have to replace the screen, but hey, it powers on with the power button now. There you go. This radio is now no longer requires ignition sense. If the buyer wants it, they can modify this radio back to how it was with the resistor at location R506. But because I don't like selling them with ignition sense, because a lot of people don't realize that they have ignition sense enabled, and they're not like Motorola radios where you are able to go into the code plug and enable them, at least for the 790s. The newer NX radio, mobile radios, you are able to define if they want ignition sense or not. But these older ones, you got to replace the resistor from 506 to 504. Or if you want to enable the ignition sense, you just take it from 504 and bring it down to 506, which would require you to make sure you have a ignition sense wire in position 4 or position 1. How was I? Sorry, I'm trying to... Yeah, 1. Position 1. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there you go. And that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching another video of Blue Mountain Radios. I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this quick little video on how to remove ignition sense from a TK-790, this works for the TK-790H as well, the 100-watt version. It's the same resistor relocation on the board. I believe it's still labeled 504 and 506, and you just either move it to 506 to enable or move it to 504 to disable it. So enjoy the video, and I appreciate you hanging out, and I'll see you next time. Later.